Welcome back to A Minute with Chelsea. I'm trying to think if I already told you this or not, but because of the snow, TJ's flight got delayed, so we are here for another week together. That means I'm going back to real life while TJ is here, meaning I have to go to the freaking gym. I took 3 weeks almost off, and I am feeling it today. It feels like shitty poo-poo, doo-doo, poop. And by that I mean, it actually feels great to be back, but my body is feeling weak and crappy. Not to mention my shoulder's fucked up and my arm is numb, so, well, we're just working through that. It felt weird to go do normal things while my boyfriend was asleep at home or hanging out at the house. He was doing laundry while I was gone, which is really nice of him. Unloading the dishwasher. He was like cleaning up around the house, which is great. Not at this moment, because at this moment it is 7 a.m. and he is 100% still asleep because I wanted to be asleep too. It's really weird to have such a busy life and go all the fucking time, but it's not weird when you're doing it. It's only weird when you take weeks off and you realize just how much you do every single day and how you never have a rest or a break. I also went to Little Rock to take a Pilates class because I've got to get back into it. Ryan was the instructor and he brought his little baby dog. Her name is Sue and today is her 3rd birthday. So everyone tells Sue happy birthday. She's super sweet and she had her little jacket, little parka on. Do you think that I did super awesome in this class? Because if so, you're wrong. It was super hard because I haven't done it in 3 weeks and I was feeling not well. Let's just be honest. The most cardio I've gotten is from having sex with my boyfriend all weekend. And it still hasn't been that much because he's doing most of the work. Not because I'm a pillow princess. How dare you? Because my shoulder's fucked up. He is not missing out. Don't you worry. But I took so many breaks, and that's okay. You're allowed to listen to your body and take breaks, especially in my class. But even knowing that, sometimes I get a little bit paranoid that they're going to think I'm just being lazy. But everyone shows up to the studio with a different ability every day. Even you, every single day, your ability is different, depending on how much sleep you got, how much water you've had, how you are in your hormone cycle. If you're in a pain flare-up, it depends on so many things. After class was over, I had a visitor come to see me and she got right up in my camera and then I said goodbye to her and she kissed me. She's really sweet and really cute. I went home and I picked up TJ and then we went to Kroger to pick up a grocery order and then we headed to the car wash to get my car washed because the snow made my car filthy. Here is our grocery haul. Yes, I bought 2 of everything because everything was buy 1, get 1 or buy 2 for blah, blah, blah. And then it was time to start demolitioning. Is that a word? Demolitioning the shower. So what happened is... The people who had this house before me, when they moved out, they decided to redo this bathroom. This used to be a big jacuzzi tub, and they decided they didn't want a jacuzzi tub, so they ripped it out. And instead of thinking, hey, maybe we shouldn't put a shower here because this is cube glass and it's not waterproof, at least not for a shower that gets used every single day, they were like, it'll be fine. And they hired a shitty company like Rebath to come in and put fiberglass walls around it. Look at the walls. They did nothing. They just glued that shit to the wall. They didn't do any kind of waterproofing. That's why everything molded. So my contractor had to pop each piece of glass out of that window because it's not working anymore. That glass is disgusting now and it's not watertight and nothing is watertight. So we have to start over. And the reason it took this long to get it finished is because he had to order a new window and it just came in. So while they were punching out the window and replacing it with this one, TJ and I are watching Sex and the City because it's one of my favorite shows and I need him to love it as much as I do. And he does. I'm so excited. Now, look at all the brand new wood that's not rotten, and look at this new window that isn't going to leak everywhere. I am so relieved. He's also building me a bench, and he was like, hey, I need you to come sit down and talk to me. And I was like, okay. And he was like, no, for real, sit down. I need to measure how tall you are when you sit down and where your knee hits. And I was like, oh, that is true customer service. Thank you. He's also adding built-in shelves for my shampoo and conditioner. And while he was doing all of that, I cleaned out my freezer because it's disgusting. I decided to cook dinner for TJ. And I said, I'm going to make you tofu tacos with some Spanish rice. And TJ was like, I've never had tofu tacos. I'm a little bit, not sure about it. And I was like, it's going to be delicious. Tofu doesn't have a flavor. It's just a texture. And that's why I refuse to make tofu unless it's super tiny, like ground beef, all crumbled up. It's just a flavor carrier. You have to let it carry your flavor. So you have to flavor the shit out of it. And the less surface area it has around it, the more flavor is going to get inside it, right? So if you make it into a cube, you're just flavoring those little outsides and all the inside is bland. So I don't drain mine. I just crumble it up. All that liquid goes in there because when you're making taco meat, you need to add water anyway. And that's what makes your like saucy meat sauce, right? I also put 2 different kinds of muffins in the oven because I was craving muffins and they're already in my pantry and I was like, let's do it. And of course, I've got this wonderful cameraman for a boyfriend who loves to film everything I do, which is fantastic because you know what? not to be a dick, but my ex-husband hated TikTok. He hated everything I did. He hated when I made content. He hated when I filmed. Every time I was live on TikTok and he would come home, I'd have to shut it down because he would get so fucking mad about it. Do you know how fucking refreshing it is to have a boyfriend who wants to film you, who doesn't even have to be asked? He just pulls out a camera and starts doing it. And yes, is it silly footage? Yeah, but do you know how great that is? It's nice to be with someone who's secure enough to share you with the internet. Does that make sense? And who also does things like this, zooms in on your ass. I also really appreciate dating someone who comes and sits in the kitchen with me while I cook and doesn't just make me do everything by myself and stand in the kitchen alone like an idiot. Because I don't mind cooking as long as I have company or someone who's offering to help or film or just be in there with me and have a good time. It's nice to cook. I forgot that I like to cook because I don't do it for myself, and that's something I need to get better at. It's okay to cook for just one. It's also fun to cook for two. It's more fun, of course. But I'm allowed to take care of myself as well. I don't know. There are certain parts of a relationship that are going to be difficult for me, like trusting and not being closed down and shut off, because I am struggling with that because it's hard. You know, when you get divorced, everything after that, it feels fake and scary. But it's also silly and it's also fun and it can be safe. Oh God. It can be safe when someone allows you to be completely yourself, even when you're dirty and ugly and smell like tofu taco meat. I'm not saying I'm ugly, but you know what I mean. I haven't showered and I can just be the dumbest person on the planet. He lets me completely unmask, and that's really hard for me to do, to be completely myself. But also, we got way too silly, too silly. I was like, hey, do you dare me to punch this? What if I punched it? And he was like, yeah. And I don't think he thought I would do it. So I did it because I was like, I'm not eating that brown guacamole. It's so much fun to just be an idiot with someone without judgment, and someone who matches your freak. And by freak, I mean stupidity. And instead of being like, don't do that, or oh my God, you're being crazy, they're like, yeah, punch it, do it. Because what's the harm? Nothing is the harm. Here, let me help you get it off your hand. It's fun. And I was like, what if I dumped it on the floor? And TJ was like, don't. And I was like, I'm going to do it anyway. And we both laughed. We laughed until I think TJ almost pissed his pants. And then I mooned the Christmas tree. Because you know what? I don't give a shit. This is me pretending my mouth is a butthole. This is TJ trying to film my crotch. I mean, he did do it. He didn't just try. The last dandelion. Y'all, I don't know. I'm happy and in love. Who cares?